Guys, Brian Pierce from Seat Time here. So this is a technical review of the 2018 Fly Racing Hydrogen Lite racewear. 2018 is a lot of updates to their gear, brand new colorways, tons of new designs. So obviously I'm not in a situation where I can go ride right now, but the thing is I wanted to break down kind of some of the aspects of the gear that I'm really looking forward to, that I think are gonna make the gear more functional and make it last longer and be better for riders like us that are gonna be out there, you know, being weekend warriors and a bunch of badasses, beer drinking and bench racing on the weekends, having a darn good time. So hopefully you enjoy this technical review of the Fly Racing Hydrogen Lite racewear. Step 1, beer. Step 2, gear. So let's dig in. First, we're gonna start with the pants. Obviously, my space is a little limited, but we're gonna make it work and try to have a little bit of extra fun with you guys. Whatever you do, make sure you throw these bags away. They're not good for kids and small dogs. So obviously they send you a lot of tissue. This is just so that way you have stuff to wipe your butt with when you start riding your dirt bike and do extra crazy things. What I like is it gets you a hanger. That way you can hang your stuff up. I don't know if you do that or not, but you know, maybe it's good for your closet. So one of the highlights of the pants this year for the Hydrogen Lite racewear is the BOA system that has actually been added to it. Now, why is this such a big deal? If you haven't worn the Evolution 2.0 gear, you don't know how big of a deal this really is. It's one of those situations where throughout the day as you sweat and this material gets wet, your gear stretches. So when you're out there for a couple hours or doing a couple motos, using this BOA system, you can tighten up your waistline and just get the pants to be that much more precision fit, which I think is a fantastic addition to the Evo 2.0 gear, and I'm so glad that we're getting a chance now to have it on the Hydrogen Lite racewear. So if you don't know about the Hydrogen Lite racewear, this was introduced about 5 years ago, and the idea was for it to be about as light yet super functional as possible, but extremely durable, right? Because the pro racers were always asking for lighter gear. Problem with lighter gear is it's not as durable. So what Fly Racing went ahead and did is they started the Hydrogen Lite line, which is extremely durable and extremely light. That's what we have to work with. You can see here, you can play around just how light this material is. They have these laser cut vents. So that way they're laser cut like that, so that way there's not a tear for them to then wind up becoming bigger holes. Lots and lots of padding, obviously the leather there for the inside for all you super, I'm gonna create a bunch of heat with my 4-stroke exhaust. And one of the things that I like, I think is kind of fun, let's see if they still put it on there, if I know how these things work, is the zipper lock. It seems kind of goofy, but this is actually extremely helpful to use with the pants. So that way when you're like, oh, zippered up, and then you just put this guy, bam, and now your zipper can't come down, or even if it were to come down, the top is still tight, which is super nice. But then now you get it on there, you give yourself a little micro adjustment, bam, it's super tight. You won't become Jason Anderson with the tail of your jersey sticking out. More beer. Next we've got the Hydrogen Lite Jersey. As you can imagine, this is the jersey that goes with the Hydrogen Lite pants. Look at that branding, it's such an awesome thing. So as we were talking about how light these pants are, now it's the same thing with the jersey. And remember, let's see, these aren't chiclets, do not eat these. It says, do not eat, throw away. I would actually listen and read those instructions. But, so, oh, and by the way, these are stickers in case you want to get crazy and just sticker your friend's car with them later on. 20 years, good job, Fly. So not only is this material for this jersey extremely lightweight, but if you really pay attention, you'll see some interesting details. So this is just a super lightweight kind of jersey material, but what they've created here on the side to help with ventilation is more of a mesh material. So there's super thin and then not as thin areas. You get, again, that laser cut kind of ventilation here in the arms, and then on the cuffs, they got rid of the constricting kind of cuff that they had there at the end of the arms, but they've got a little bit of give to them, so they're easy to get on and get off, and they're not that big a deal. But you can see how much has gone into this, and again, to try to help mitigate any Jason Anderson wannabes out there, they've got these little sticky bits on the back, so it helps try to keep your jersey tucked in. So not only is this gear super lightweight and very comfortable to wear, but you can tell how functional it is and how well thought out the gear is. Now let's move on to the gloves. Now you guys do know these paws are baby hands. You can even see some of these fun calluses that I have from just being the guy that I am, and that's from barbells from today, so shut up. So let's talk about these bad boys. And if you're gonna make fun of me, do it. Yes, that's an M for medium 9. My wife's trying to drink all of my beer. Can't let that happen. We're dealing with a lot more lighter material. So personally, I can't race in these gloves. They're too thin for me. I've tried and tried and tried, but they specifically created these for the professionals that wanted lighter feeling gloves and have less on for the contact points of riding. So you can see how ventilated and how this like kind of spandex kind of here is ventilated. Obviously we've got the little touch points here, so that way you can get some grip for your bits, and then a little bit of an extra thumb padding there. And then of course fly racing, so sexy. But yeah, this is what my hand looks like in there. But see, it's a medium, it's a 9, and you can tell, unfortunately, that fits just about perfect. I have actually really liked the fact that gloves have started coming without kind of a wrist strap. It's just that they're tough to get on and off sometimes. So it's kind of a give and take. I like to get the Evo 2 gloves and wear those. I just wanted to get this to be able to do kind of a full test and full ride with these. So I'm still going to ride in these. I do a lot of mountain biking in these Pro Light gloves, and honestly a lot of kind of work around the house. Like, these are kind of my go-to gloves because they're just so stinking comfortable you barely even know you have them on. So if you haven't checked them out yet, make sure you go for it. Now this box is too big for me to toss in and make sure that I get it in there, but this is the F2 Carbon Kevlar Helmet, and I'm reading the box. Oh look, the microphone. Oh, we're gonna move it. Ta-da! So look how sexy this thing is. Now it actually does come in this soft case when you get it, but of course, why would I have that in there? All you need to do is see just how stinking sexy this thing is. So this is the Rewire that goes with the red and gray kind of colorway that they've put together. Super awesome new logo that Fly Racing has put together for their 2018 gear line. I'm so stoked to have this helmet and to get ready to wear it. Some of the things to kind of really point out is the fact that you have like 10 different intake ports for vents, and you have 4 different exhaust ports, so the air actually flows through the helmet. And some of these ports up here are actually helping the goggles create airflow to try to help your goggles not fog as much, which is pretty stinking awesome. You can get actually a couple different liners, so the shell that you have, you can try a couple different liners if you need to get a tighter fit or a little bit larger fit without having to go to an entirely larger helmet, which I think is pretty badass. This is a great helmet, and I'm really looking forward to trying out some new Fly Racing gear. It's been a long time since I've had a new helmet, and it's been a long time since I've had some new Hydrogen Light racewear. The 2018 stuff just looks ridiculously sick. The colorways are awesome. The designs are fantastic. I love the new logos and the new looks. Obviously the technical review aspect of it, these guys are pretty badass, but it's really what's going to happen when we get on the trail. So let's wrap this up, finish the beers, and get ready to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed this technical review of the 2018 Fly Racing Hydrogen Light racewear. I know I had a good time putting it together for you guys, so let me know what are some of the aspects of the gear that you're looking forward to putting to the test. I think that some of the laser etching that they do for ventilation, the way that they create the mesh parts of the gear are ways to keep us extremely ventilated, and in Texas that is really, really important. So that's part of the thing. That's what I'm looking forward to. Obviously the new BOA system on the Hydrogen Light pants I think is going to be phenomenal. That's probably one of the things I'm going to have the most fun with, because who doesn't like playing with a dial, right? Fidget spinners, they're huge. You know why? It's a dial. That's why. So you know what? We're done with this review. Don't need that anymore. See you guys on the trail. Stay fly, bitches.